And the Hidayah is kind enough to tell us the destruction of the sword is incurred by infidels, although they be not the first aggressors, as appears from various passages in the sacred writings which are generally received to this effect. Infidels may be attacked without provocation. Nazi ideology disguised as religion, exactly, nothing less, exactly in time, that is the case. So death by the sword, destruction here means death, right? So death by the sword is incurred by infidels, although they are not the first aggressors, and they are told to do so in the sacred writings, and we may be attacked without provocation. And here they say, meaning war in its operations, such as fighting and slaying. Yep. So I'll go for like another 10 minutes and I'll pause, and we can always finish this next time. But he speaks of offensive fighting, and the offensive fighting, as we see in the Sharia, is specifically for the purpose, military action with the object of the expansion of Islam, for enforcing, making sure that Islam is forced down your throat, right? That Islam is advanced through warfare. This is what the Sharia teaches, and this is what he's talking about here. So, yeah. Now he goes on verses enjoining. So enjoin means to command, to prescribe. So verses enjoining peace and forgiveness, these are all the Meccan verses, and these are of course abrogated by the Medinan verses. Pardon and forgive, so that Allah should bring about his command. Take to forgiveness and turn aside from the ignorant, blah, 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 warm friend. Right? Then he speaks of defensive verses. Permission to fight is given to those who are fought against, blah, blah, blah. And those who've been expelled from their homes unjustly because they said blah, blah, blah. Okay, defensive verses. We all know these. Defensive jihad continued. You cling heavily to the earth, blah, 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 but little is the enjoyment of this life of the world compared to the hereafter. So Muslims should want paradise. They should want to be killed and go to paradise rather than this world. The pleasures of this world don't compare to the pleasures of the paradise, which is motivation to go and do jihad. Then it goes on. Then the Quran changes. The tone changes. If you do not go forth, he will chastise you with a painful chastisement and bring in your place a people other than you, and you will do him no harm. So in other words, if you don't do what Allah wants, which is to go out and do jihad, Allah will replace you with others who will listen to him. And you're not going to get in Allah's way. You're not going to stop him. And Allah forbids you not with regard to those who fight you not for your faith, nor drive you out of your homes from dealing kindly and justly with them. Again, this is abrogated. So you can be nice to people, but these are abrogated. Fight in the cause of Allah those who fight you, but do not transgress limits. But if they cease, okay, if they give up, right? So fine and well. Then he speaks of the verse of the sword. And here he talks about the abrogation. So when the sacred months have passed, fight the mushrikun wherever you find them and capture them and lie in wait for them in each and every ambush. But if they convert and they say the prayer, then leave their way free. So in other words, you have to become Muslim. And if you don't, well, then I've been commanded to fight the people until they testify that there's no deity worthy of worship except Allah. And there you go. That's the verse of the sword. Sound like Vikings version of Valhalla. Yes, exactly. And 929, he talks about this. So we have to be fought until we pay the jizya in acknowledgement of superiority of the Muslims, and we have to be in a state of subjection, right? So don't forget, subjection means under the political control of another country or state, being in a position or circumstance that place one under the power or authority of another, subject to the law, the Sharia, right? So the complete subjection to their captors, to frighten the masses into law-abiding subjection, the worst forms of economic subjection and drudgery. That's Collins' dictionary, the Cambridge dictionary, the Free dictionary, and let's look at Webster's. The act of bringing under the dominion of another, the act of subduing.